In 2020, our lives changed so much, and they changed so rapidly that we hardly could keep up. But the powers that be were very frustrated that our lives didn't change enough, and they didn't change rapidly enough. But friends, unfortunately, I have to say that they now have the tools at their hands. They have the tools ready to go. The dry run is over. Friends, we need to talk about stuff that they have built into the infrastructure of your phones, both iPhones as well as Androids. It's pretty scary, friends. We need to talk about how the stage is set and just needs a crisis to unleash all of these new tools on us. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and we cover things on this channel that the mainstream media definitely does not cover. We're going to be talking about how they're going to block you from stores, how they're going to block you from getting on airplanes, how they're going to block you from getting onto travel. The social credit score system, they've kind of passed that along. What they want to do now is they have built into your wallet, your digital wallet, their tools to control you. I want you to open up your phone, if you will. Get your phone out. If you're watching on your phone, you can just kind of follow along. You got your wallet app there, right? Most of you have they pre-install it, right? So you don't really have a choice about that. Now, what I want you to do is in that wallet, do you have your COVID-19 vaccine card? Now, you may be like, Steve, no, I don't. Well, friends, millions of Americans do have it right there. They can pull it up. The QR code's right there. It can be scanned, and they can verify that they are up to date. Yes, and if you're horrified by that thought, both Android and Apple have built into their wallet programs a place for you to put your vaccinations. And that's where we are. So next time they need to give everyone a poke, that is going to be ready to go. All they have to do is just generate the QR codes. And if you don't have a QR code on your little rectangular brick, you may not be allowed to get on that airplane. You may not be allowed to get on that train. You may not be allowed to go into that grocery store. We saw last time how everyone lined up and saluted and did what they were told. Only towards the very end did people start pushing back, right? They had employees saying, sorry, but this is our policy, or sorry, these are the rules that are coming from the federal government. Sorry, these are the rules coming from our state. We have to abide by these rules. It's not our fault. The store is telling us because the store is being forced by the government. You need to go talk to somebody in the government if you don't like this policy. But here's the thing. Who in the government instituted these policies? What law was passed by Congress that suddenly made it so that you couldn't go into a store without the right documentation? Was there a law passed? We had something happen at the federal level that made it so that everyone had to wear appropriate clothing as determined by the government. You had to basically have Saudi Arabian dress code here in the United States, whether you were male or female. That was passed not by Congress, but by some person decided somewhere that that was a new rule that needed to be passed down to the states. And the states all just went, okay, yes, sir. They didn't pass it through their legislatures. Friends, this was a dry run. I believe that it was more than a dry run. I think it was an actual attempt. I think that they were hoping that it was going to work. But believe me, they learned a bunch of lessons, and they're more prepared. They have tools at their disposal now. We have cell phones that are preloaded with this stuff now. And what is it going to be next time? Is it going to be another poke? Is it going to be because of the bird flu? Or maybe another scary new cough is going to come up? What is it? We see the same thing with TSA, right? I was just going through airport security, and they are like, Why don't you just sit down for the screening for TSA pre-check? Give us all your biometric data. Sit down for a interview so that we can pre-screen you so you don't have to take off your shoes. I mean, you still have to go through security, but it'll be more convenient for you. And you can just see how they're making things more and more difficult for the people who have not submitted to the TSA pre-check. They're incentivized to make it more difficult in order to force you to do what they want you to do. And friends, are they going to do that for everybody out there? They want everybody to go through a security interview. They want everybody to give in all their biometric data. If they're doing it at TSA, believe me, they'll do it everywhere else too. It's only a matter of time. What about forcing you to have your anti-racism card? Did you go to your training? Did you re-up again? Did you go to your annual training for anti-racism? Where you sit there and if you have the wrong skin color, you sit there and you apologize for hours. What about inclusivity training? Maybe you said a little something. Maybe it's just everybody needs to go to these trainings now. Maybe you haven't been to your drag queen story hour. Yep. Where's your QR code? You can't come into our store because you have not been through inclusivity training. Does this seem all far-fetched? Because the infrastructure is there. When they build systems, when they build weapon systems, they intend to use those weapon systems. It's amazing how militaries of the world build these weapon systems and then they're like, hey, we need to use these on somebody. They've built digital weapons for controlling mass populations. You think they're not going to use them? What could possibly be happening this year, like maybe in November, that would make them want to control mass populations? We have a lot of craziness happening at university campuses right now. We have at Columbia, they have students that stormed a building like they're some kind of Irish revolutionaries or something, and refusing to come out and demanding that water and food be sent into them. I mean, they can't drink from the water fountains. Heaven forbid. They need bottled water and they need catered meals to come into them. And then the police stormed the building. They should have done that a long time before that, but police eventually stormed the building and arrest many, and we see this all across the United States. And we see funding, yes, funding for these groups is coming in. And it's all the regulars, the Soroses and all. They're funding this chaos, just like they funded the Summer of Rage. Remember the mostly peaceful protests, right? With the buildings burning in the background. They're gearing up for that again. That's what they're doing right now on the campuses. They're getting all the young people stirred up, riled up so that they can go out there. They're blocking airports. They're blocking roads. They're taking over campuses and intimidating and threatening individuals on their campuses based on ethnicity and religious beliefs. You think this isn't coming? I know you know it's coming. What do? Friends, you need to be as self-sufficient as possible. You need to be moving away from blue zones and towards red zones. And that's get your little map out, get your population map, your voting map out. And if you're in a blue state, you need to get to a red county. It's just you need to. You're in danger. Now, if you're a lifelong Democrat and you're voting that way and you're on board with all this stuff that's going on, well then you're okay where you are, right? You might need to get out of a red state But I don't see the Republicans, I don't see the conservatives out there burning buildings and attacking people on the street. I don't see that. I see people in cities being attacked with bricks, knockout games, where people of certain skin pigments are attacking people of less skin pigment. And that is something that's been going on for the last several years. The situation is getting more and more dire. And I have to encourage you, if you're in a blue state, get to a red state. If you can't, and you're in a blue county, you need to get to a red county. If you can't get out of that blue county, you need to get to a red area as best you can. You need to surround yourself with like-minded people. Because, friends, this is going to go until there is a full conflict. There is no reconciling these two sides. There's that. I haven't gotten out to see that movie, Civil War, but that's what we're headed towards. And it's going to be more awful. I know some of you are like, oh, bring it on. Let's get this going. No, friends. No, it's going to be more horrific than you can possibly imagine. If we just have a war with some other country like China or Russia out there, it will be significantly better for us here at home. But friends, any way you slice it, electricity is going to be a thing of the past. I mean, what are people going to do without electricity? People don't know how to survive without electricity, without electronics, without internet. This is a dangerous time we're moving into. I'd say, are you prepared? But the answer to that is no, none of us are prepared. None of us can be prepared for what's coming. Difficult days are ahead. What can we do about it? We can get more prepared. We can get more ready. You can't be ready, but you can get more ready. What steps are you taking today? Baby steps every day are important. If you have opportunity, resources, and time to make larger steps, then do that. Please do. Get your stuff in order, right? But if you're overwhelmed, just take baby steps today. Get some things organized. Every time you go out to the store, right? Patera says that. Basically just get a couple extra canned goods every time you go out to the store. Whatever you do because you need to get more prepared. Don't be afraid and worried about the future. But as you see the storm clouds on the horizon, close the barn doors. Get that weather radio out and start listening to see if there's a tornado in your area. If there's a tornado warning and you need to get downstairs. You don't need to be worried. You don't need to be fearful in a paralyzed sense. But what you do need to do is you need to be taking active steps. Right? It's not that you need to be running around with your chicken like a chicken with your head cut off, right? But you do need to be taking steps of preparation. You need to be treating this as different than ordinary times. We are moving into a season of difficulty. And that's going to require us to take different steps, to act differently, to avoid being caught up in everything. Some people are going to suffer really bad. Where you are on the map is probably going to determine some of how you fare. And that's the honest truth. I'm not getting paid to promote red states to you. I'm not getting paid to promote red counties to you. I'm genuinely concerned for you. And I'm saying that as someone in a red county in a blue state. And I'm not in a great situation here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right? And I'm definitely thinking through that. What do we do about all these things? We need to be taking better steps to take care of ourselves and our families. Let me know down in the comments down below What do you think is coming next? And how can we prepare for it? That's really where it flows to. All right, friends, thanks so much for joining us. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.